Hello and welcome again to the Writer Review. This is Eric Carrot Writer, and this week we're going to be taking a look back at the 1999 romantic comedy drama titled The Best Man. Now, The Best Man runs for exactly 2 hours long. It is directed by Malcolm D. Lee. The script was done by Malcolm D. Lee. It was produced by his cousin, who's a more well-known director, Spike Lee, who has done many movies in the past 30 years. He is also joined by Sam Kitt and Bill Carraro. The score was composed by Stanley Clarke, the cinematography by Frank Prinzi, and it was edited by Kara Silverman. And the stars of the movie are Taye Diggs, Nia Long, Morris Chestnut, Harold Perrineau, Terrence Howard, Sanaa Lathan, Melissa De Sousa, Monica Calhoun, Jim Moody, Regina Hall in her acting debut, Jarrod Bunch, Victoria Dillard, and Malcolm D. Lee. So, directed and written by Spike Lee's cousin, Malcolm D. Lee. The Best Man, which was, I believe, Malcolm D. Lee's directing debut, was produced by his cousin Spike Lee, who had some involvement in this movie, serving as the producer. The movie definitely features an ensemble cast of talented performers, including Taye Diggs, Nia Long, Morris Chestnut, Terrence Howard, Monica Calhoun, and Sanaa Lathan. In 2013, the cast reunited with a holiday season themed film, A Best Man Holiday, which actually may have been a holiday themed movie, but it also ran some pretty dark themes to it. Not one of these kiddie holiday films, more pretty darker edged stuff. But even though this movie was billed as a romantic drama, a romantic comedy drama, there is some pretty dark stuff in this movie where a lot of deep, dark secrets gets unraveled and a lot of conflicts become quite prominent. So the opening scenes to The Best Man centers around Harper Stewart, played by Taye Diggs, an author. Oh, what do you know? His name is Harper. When you think of the name Harper, what comes to mind? Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. Harper. You think of Harpo Productions, which was the production company that did, shows like the Oprah Winfrey Show and some of its other spin-offs, including Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz. They're also part of Harpo Productions as well. So I guess it was just a little tongue-in-cheek humor on behalf of Malcolm D. Lee himself for naming his leading character Harper. So he's an author who's residing in Chicago along with his gorgeous and casual girlfriend Robin, played by Sanaa Lathan, who, if you remember on the Cleveland show, she is the voice of Donna Tubbs, Cleveland Brown's second wife. After, of course, he divorced his first wife because of her committing acts of promiscuity by his double-crossing friend, Glenn Quagmire. So, in the spin-off. And I guess once they did the whole revolving door thing in Cleveland, came back to Quahog, he still remained married to Donna. And even though Donna Tubbs played kind of a more of a prominent role in the Cleveland show, she's been pretty much pushed to the background in Family Guy. Anyhow, let's not go too much into that. But that's who I remember Sanaa Lathan from. So one day, Harper comes home from several meetings to tell Robin the news that his latest novel, Unfinished Business, has been approved by Oprah's book club and will be sent out for publication. Now, Harper and Robin celebrate by getting into the hot tub. And though they have been steady for the last 2 years, and everything seems to be going well in their relationship, Harper is still unsure of himself if he's up to it when it comes to marrying Robin. Even though they seem to be a steady couple, he never really actually fully expresses his true feelings for her. Maybe either because he thinks that's too masculine, or maybe he's not fully in love with her, or maybe he's just insecure. But either way, it seems that he kind of plays it off very cold to this whole situation. Robin wants him to propose to her, but he's not really sure of himself. And I don't think it's because of cold feet. So Robin is obviously and understandably offensive by Harper's response or lack of response, and still feels that the reason for his reluctance in marrying her is because Harper is still esoterically in love with an old college flame that was mentioned in his book. You see, even though his book is a fictional account, the characters depicted in his book have a bit of tracings of the people who he has been associated with since his days in college. So he attends Harper's college friend's wedding in New York City, where he's reunited with the gang. This is one of the great things I like about this movie, is that the cast, although about 98% are African American, they portray African Americans in a much more positive light. They're not here to be, oppressed. Not one character feels rejected or is using skin color as an excuse to express their disdain. Everything is wrong with them because of their skin color. Which I actually cringe at every time somebody says something like that. Come on, it's not about your skin color. If you did something wrong, it's your own doing. It's not because of your skin color. But still, I'm glad that this movie does not have that kind of sentiments. And I'm happy for that. I'm glad that they actually made the African American characters portrayed as professionals, educated people. They're not talking too much in Ebonics. Sometimes they might even go to that far stuff. But they act like they're professional, mature intellectuals and not repressed, victimized, or marginally discriminated. There is none of that in this movie. They're all treated like respectable citizens, and I gravitate to that. Sure, the movie could be a little bit dated, but then again, what do you expect? This movie came out in 1999. So there's going to be a lot of archaic, outdated stuff. Let's move forward. Harper has been given the duties as the best man, hence the title, and is reunited with his friends from college. The inner circle consists of the groom himself, Lance Sullivan, played by Morris Chestnut, who has become a star running back for the New York Giants. You see that? Morris Chestnut, who played Ricky Baker in Boys in the Hood, wanted to use football or wanted to pursue a career in football as a way to get out of the hood in Compton. Now imagine if Ricky Baker never got shot and actually his real name would have been Lance Sullivan. Then this could have been Ricky Baker's dream. Lance Sullivan is practically making Ricky Baker's dream that he didn't get a reality. And ironically, they were both played by Morris Chestnut. It's like Ricky Baker 8 years later. So Ricky Baker never died. He faked his death. Alright, all kidding aside. Lance's bride is his smart and affectionate college lover, Maya Morgan, played by Monica Calhoun. Also joining the fray includes a good Samaritan type named Julian Murchison, played by Harold Perrineau, who seems more interested in working with developmentally delayed children rather than working in a law firm, which of course obviously has a much more higher payroll. But given the fact that doesn't care about high payrolls, he wants to do something more for the greater good. Which is great. I mean, the guy seems to like to put his heart before his head. Nothing wrong with that. And then there's the outspoken Quentin Spivey, played by Terrence Howard, who shifts from one artistic ambition to another and also seems to be a bit of a womanizer. And then there's Jordan Armstrong, played by Nia Long, a successful TV producer who feels that her friendship with Harper can go the next level, or go to the next level. Also in the company is Shelby, who is Maya's sorority sister and overbearing girlfriend of Murch, which the guys just clearly despise. She comes across as being kind of a bit of a bitch, especially towards her boyfriend Murch, and everybody in this circle of friends just seems to hate her. Well, the guys, that is. Especially Quentin. And yet, Quentin has never met a girl he didn't love. Especially between the sheets. Giggity. So Harper grows concerned when Jordan reveals that she has purchased an advanced copy of his book Unfinished Business, fearing that the gang will catch on that the characters in his novel are subtle images of each other, which unravels his true personal feelings about them, and how will they react once they read it. So I guess this kind of gives me the impression that Harper is not that good of an author if his friends will catch on to later reveal that the characters portrayed in this movie are mirror images of themselves. And once they know, well, he's pretty much up shit's creek without a paddle. A lot of the comedy seems to go around that. But it also seems to also come into some rather dark territories as well. Especially once Lance gets a hold of that book. I mean, he might be a football jock, but I don't think he's stupid either. On the night of Lance's bachelor party, Murch overcomes Shelby's demands and joins the guys for a night of fun and frolic and raunchiness. They just live the life. But then again, what do you expect when you're at a bachelor party? You want to take your mind off of the wedding. You know, a little calm before the storm. Go out, socialize, get a little drunk, get a little tipsy. Might even meet a woman. You might get laid. Who knows? It's all in the name of fun. Mert starts to become attracted to one of the strippers that was hired by Quentin, a girl by the name of Candy Sparks, played by Regina Hall in her acting debut. Meanwhile, Harper and Jordan take their mutual attraction to the next level. He tries to prevent Lance from finishing his novel as it reveals a dark secret affair that he had with Maya when they were in college. And if Lance gets hold of this book, Harper's toast. Never mind, Robin. There won't be a wedding. A funeral, maybe, but not a wedding. But unfortunately, as the narrative goes, we probably would expect it. Lance does get a hold of the book. He reads it. And he's not just angry, but he's real fucking pissed off. I mean, he is so pissed off that he actually picks up Harper and almost throws his scrawny ass off a balcony. And he almost could have succeeded had it not been for Quentin intervening, trying to prevent him from doing it. I mean, Lance seems like a pretty cool guy, but you don't want to piss him off. You fuck with the wrong girl, and he will fuck you back. Sorry. Harper then lashes out his anger on Jordan, accusing her of exploiting the book days before the wedding. Jordan fires back by saying they should never have written about it in the first place, if it was such a dark and dirty secret. And in a way, she's right. You know, a lot of this stuff goes on to him. I mean, that's one of the things about this movie, is that most of the characters are relatively likable, but Harper, you know, he's just a pretty creepy guy, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, a lot of this, I mean, just him hypocritically exploiting his friends the way he did and revealing his dirty laundry makes him a real genuine asshole. And like I said, I don't disagree at all with Jordan's sentiment. If Harper did not want his secrets revealed, he should have not put it in his goddamn novel. There are some times in people's life that they should just sit down, think about what they say, and shut the fuck up. Hey. I mean, he made his bed, now he has to sleep in it.
No, lay in it. Very expressive.
Everything that has transpired in this movie is all done by you, Harper. And you got nobody but yourself to blame. This is the big weakness in this movie, is that the leading character is actually the most unlikable one. I don't blame Lance for being pissed off. Okay, I don't condone him nailing him to a wall and almost pushing him off a balcony, almost leading him to his death. No, I don't condone that. I understand you're angry. I understand you're frustrated. I understand you feel betrayed by your own best friend whom actually who you actually assigned as a best man, and then he turns on you like that. I don't blame you for your anger. I'd be angry too. And I'm angry 95% of the time. But I would be really genuinely pissed. Okay, maybe like I said, I don't condone you trying to kill him, nail him to a wall, give him a couple of black eyes maybe. But I don't know. You seem to be a deeply religious guy, Lance. Don't do something you'll regret. That's all I'm saying. Fuck you, Harper. So by the next morning, Harper the asshole goes to the airport to pick up Robin, who is devastated when he finally confesses everything to her. Robin decides to attend the wedding anyway, feeling it's her intentions as to what has been keeping them back from marrying each other. But Robin really still doesn't want anything to do with Harper. She's going to this wedding on account of an obligation, not because of Harper. As far as Harper goes to Robin, Harper can go sit on a tack. And I don't mean like right on the ass cheeks, but right up the sphincter. That really hurts like hell. So when the guests arrive at the church, Lance is nowhere to be found. They collaborate in trying to decide where to go look for him. Robin tries everything to comfort a concerned Maya, who seems to be unprecedentedly caught in the middle of this whole debacle. And then when Lance does finally show up, he tells his parents and he says that the wedding is off. But then Harper tries to assure Lance that his love for Maya is the reason why this wedding must continue. So eventually the wedding is back on, and the ceremony was breathtaking. Murch and Candy are now a couple, which I think is kind of strange since Murch is dealing with developmentally delayed children, and Candy is a stripper. I don't think that really will work very well. But as long as she keeps her profession under wraps. Get it? Candy wraps. I made it funny. I don't know why, but it just came out that way. I'm a weirdo. And now the couple with Shelby in the lurch, much to the amusement of Quentin, even though in the final scenes they actually find each other in bed, much to the chagrin of both of them, as they scream in disgust at the end of the scene. Harper and Jordan know that they can't go any further than just remaining platonic friends, knowing that Robin is his true soulmate. And in front of the guests, do you know what this stupid bastard does? In the middle of Lance and Maya's wedding, he proposes to Robin. Couldn't he have done it at another date, at another time? Why in the middle of a wedding? You stupid asshole. Couldn't you just wait for another day to propose? Why in the middle of a fucking wedding? Oh, God, Harper, you're an asshole.
Cold in here.
And then at the end of the movie, it ends with them getting involved in an electric slide. So, to be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you. Aside from Harper being an unlikable character, I thought the acting was actually pretty solid. I thought actually the best performance definitely comes from Terrence Howard as Quentin. He's just pretty much the light of everything. I still liked and enjoyed the fact that the characters portrayed in this movie at the most come across as being highly sophisticated intellectuals. Nobody feels oppressed. Nobody feels, conflicted. There is no political innuendos involved in this movie, being that, being held down by the so-called white supremacy type of bullshit. None of that. They're all very much in line. They all seem to be very professional mannered. Nobody is talking in ebonics or ghetto talk. They all talk like sophisticated middle class intellectuals. Nobody is, there is no like racial cliffhangers, so to speak. Let's put it that way. And I'm glad for that. I just sometimes wish that some characters could have been just much more likable to some extent and not hypocritical like someone I've been harpering on. You get what I'm saying? But other than that, for his debut, I'll give praise to Malcolm Lee for not only directing the movie and the script, and I also like to thank Spike Lee for actually giving his cousin a chance to dip his feet in the water in the movie business. And if you ever seen The Best Man Holiday, I strongly suggest you turn it in. But just to remind you, it's not a light-hearted kiddie holiday movie. It actually does come with some pretty dark themes and also a pretty sad ending. But if I ever do run into a Best Man Holiday, we'll just sort of keep that in a low-profile stream. Because I never saw it, but I would like to someday. And if I get the chance, of course, I'll be reviewing it. So, therefore, when all is said and done, if I was to give this movie a scale out of 10, I would give The Best Man from 1999 a 7.5 out of 10. So I guess this ends my writer review. Thank you all for listening in. If you wish to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please feel free to do so. If you wish to leave a comment, go right ahead. But just remember the 3 simple rules. Be kind, be courteous, and please refrain from any rude comments. And I'll be back again with another movie review. So until next time, this is Eric Carrot Writer saying, keep watching those movies, and I'll see you around. Goodbye.